Hey guys, today I'm reviewing this Schott 618. About a year after having gotten it, it's been the most worn jacket in my rotation, so I've got a lot of miles in on this jacket. So today I want to kind of share with you what I've learned over this last year. We're going to go over all the basics from what the jacket's made of, how it's put together, how it fits, go over the features of the jacket, and give you my take after all this time, both learning about how to YouTube and learning about this jacket in this video. Alright, so the Schott Perfecto, this style, the 618, has been going strong since the 1950s. There have been variations over time, and currently Schott offers quite a few different models that all can look basically the same from the outside. The thing to know about the 618 is that it is essentially the original model and the one that has the most motorcycle-friendly features in their lineup in that classic style. You could say that the 618 is made of basically the most boring or least fancy leather in Schott's lineup. It's this 3 to 3.5 ounce steer hide. This is a pretty heavy cowhide that has been treated to be resistant to the elements and is supposed to help protect your body in case you hit the ground and you get road rash on the jacket but not yourself. So it's a tough leather. And it starts off kind of matte and with very little character to it, but as you wear it and break it in, it really does develop a kind of beautiful patina and grain and creases and a lot of character over time. It just takes time and wear to get there. Other things this jacket is made of, it's got a lot of robust hardware on it. It's got a real big number 10 main zip here in the middle. It's got sleeve zips to close off against the wind. It's got the belt to protect the hem against the wind. And interior is lined with 5.5 ounce quilted nylon poly lining. The jacket has pockets, what are hand warmer pockets they're called here at the waist, and it's got a chest zip. You know, back in the day would have probably been used for cigarettes. And then this ticket pocket, coin pocket, kind of an extra pocket little guy here. Could put a bunch of random things in there, but that's the pocket layout. Oh, there's also one little guy right in here, which I have found to be maybe the most useful pocket on the entire jacket, because you can put your phone in there and other things. I put my wallet inside this pocket. It really keeps it secure, especially once you zip the jacket. Another feature of the 618, this snap on the back. You may be wondering what it's for. It's actually for attaching a fur collar. Now, Schott sells a faux fur collar. It looks like this. The one they sell actually is not brown like this one, but I have a brown Perfecto, and so I just got it to show. And it snaps into place and is held on by the collar. And it actually provides a surprising amount of warmth. Just helps to give the jacket a little more versatility going into colder months, because this lining exists, but it isn't that warm. And, you know, honestly, that fur collar really adds a lot of warmth to your neck so that you don't have to worry about a scarf flying off, and you can wear a warm layer underneath and pretty much be set for a lot of different weathers. Other features about this jacket, the jacket is short and it is made for being in the riding position on a motorcycle. So that informs both the length of the jacket. I'm wearing higher rise jeans right now, which you might have seen back in the 1950s when this jacket was originally made. And so it has an easy looking length. I still think the jacket looks good with modern rise pants, but it is a point of contention and some people don't like the shorter jacket look. I made a video about this. Long story short, shorter jackets are better than you might think because longer jackets can get kind of floppy. Now, if you're untucking your shirt all the time, then you might want a longer jacket, but it's a little bit more complex than you might originally realize. So this jacket being comfortable in the riding position, it's short, it's made to where you can hinge forward and reach the arms forward without any real resistance. And so that's why the jacket is short. That's why we have these underarm footballs and action back. Makes for ease of motion to get into that position. Those features actually kind of carry through into everyday comfort. You know, the jacket doesn't get in your way. It doesn't get in your way when you're sitting. It doesn't get in your way when you're driving, if you're driving a car. And you can move around and do your daily things with very little resistance from the jacket, which makes it easy to wear for long periods, even if you're not riding a motorcycle. Other things about the construction on this jacket. Talking about the craftsmanship, so to speak. So the standard Schott quality is, it is very functional, it's well done, but it is not the most beautiful stitch work. Sometimes you can find little wavy bits, you know, especially if you're looking at the ends of the sleeves where a lot of thick leather comes together. And if you're looking for little bits of imperfection. You will find them, but they in no way impair the functionality of the garment. You know, this is something that happens where when you get into paying much, much, much more for a leather jacket from some high-end makers that it costs $2,000 plus for a jacket, then you get kind of more laser-like precision in the stitch work, but it does come with a high cost. About the jacket and how does it feel on the body? You know, how does the jacket? It does very well on the body. Schott knows how to make a jacket that is comfortable, that is not just something that looks good on a model or laying flat, that it actually works around a human body properly with room to move, and it rests properly across the tops of the shoulders and doesn't feel like it's hanging on your neck, and the arms move properly forward, not just because they have those features in the back, the underarm football and action back, but because they've attached the arm to be in a more active position. It's rotated forward a little bit. All these kind of details go into what makes a Schott Perfecto kind of easy joy to wear. Self-promotion break real quick. If you're liking the video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. It makes a huge difference. If you do plan on buying from Schott after hearing my honest review here, it would be awesome if you use the affiliate link. I get a tip. It's great. Channel keeps going. You get what you want. Everyone's winning. Okay, let's get back to the video. So that's really the features and construction and nature of the jacket as a thing in and of itself, which is largely what my original review was about. Now, since then, I've worn this jacket a lot. I've worn it quite a bit. I wore it every day in October, for example. It has been the most heavily worn jacket in my rotation. I have to guess I've probably worn it about 120 times, maybe 150 times over the year. And through all those wears, I have both broken in the jacket a fair bit. The arms and shoulders fit even more comfortably than they did when I first got the jacket. The whole body in particular has just settled in and developed some interesting character and become more comfortable. But what I've really been exposed to, aside from changes in the jacket itself, has been the versatility of this jacket and how it is so easy to wear it with so many different things and it still just works. And a lot of that is the idea of the Perfecto. And what happens when you tap into wearing a jacket that is essentially an icon and has been so widely seen is that it just becomes something that's acceptable. You know, it is one of those funny things that while it started off as a symbol of rebellion and people weren't allowed to wear these jackets to school, but now you kind of see it in a lot of different places. Obviously, this is a biker jacket and it has an edge to it. And people still will tell me, oh, that looks great, but I couldn't pull it off. And I think that my answer to that is kind of, it is easier than you think. You just have to put it on. And really, this jacket can go with basically any style. I mean, I personally have worn it like you see here with jeans and a t-shirt, which is how a lot of people think of wearing these jackets. And I have, yes, worn it with lots of denim, but I've worn it with flannel and denim shirts, work shirts, Western shirts. I've worn it with dress shirts and slacks. I've worn it with sweaters and hoodies and, you know, chunky Christmas sweaters. And it has worked with all of these different types of getting dressed. And, you know, I think that's one of the kind of mysteries or wonders, if you will, of a jacket like this is that, yeah, it's busy. Yeah, it's got all this stuff going on. But people are used to it. People have seen it, and it's not like it's the first time they're seeing it and they're trying to take it all in. And so because people have this kind of construct and conception around the jacket, it's easy for it to just be accepted. And I think that this is the kind of great thing about this jacket, aside from all of its features that I talked about, is that it is just way more versatile than people think on initial review. All right, now we have to talk about price and value, guys, because this jacket costs $915 new. That's a lot of money. You know, when I first got into leather jackets and learning about them, I felt like Schott was kind of underrepresented in the niche circles that I was following. And it's partially because there's this kind of break, this dichotomy that happens where folks that are not really into leather jackets believe that Schott is kind of expensive, it's too expensive. And folks that are really into leather jackets, I think, find that Schott is ubiquitous and no longer special, and kind of an entry-level jacket. And so how do we square those two very different views? And I think it's, well, the truth is in the middle kind of all the time, right? And so what Schott offers is a incredibly wearable jacket, an icon of style that can kind of morph to fit whatever your personal style is. And it costs $915, yes. Maybe you get it on sale for around $800 new. But it's the kind of jacket that you really can just wear with whatever, and it will be comfortable, and you can get used to it and forget about it and incorporate it into your style. Now, cost per wear on a kind of jacket like this, obviously, you know, I've worn it probably 120 times at least over the last year. Let's say I bought it new at that rate. That would be like what, like $7 to $9 per wear. Okay, that's pretty expensive. But that's just 1 year. And I have a lot of years to go in this jacket. And eventually the cost per wear is going to be down to the, you know, the pennies, the dimes. So that's how we have to think about jackets like this. It's not just something you're going to wear for a season. It's a timeless style piece. And so if it works for your style, which it can as long as you decide to make it work, then the value is enormous. We also have to consider the jacket can be bought used. Or if you decide you don't like it, you can sell yours on the used market. And so you're never either having to pay full price if you're willing to go used, or if you do pay full price, you can always recoup a lot of money you've put into the jacket. So the thriving used market for these jackets takes so much of the risk away from buying them, whether if you're buying used or buying new. So again, I think that it's a kind of jacket that the value is there and the cost is much lower than the price tag would indicate. If we do comparison to a similar maker, let's take Vanson for example. They make their jackets in the United States. They're also biker jackets. They also have similar style of jackets. You're paying maybe $150, $100 more for a similar Schott style. And Vanson kind of leans a little harder into the made for motorcycle riding aspect of things. So their designs, while very comfortable and practical, are a little less acceptable off the bike. And so you are paying for a different kind of style there. You know, people I've talked to me in the comments and messages that you're paying a huge amount for the Schott name. I think that's partially true, but I think you're also paying for made in the USA and the quality components and their incredible patterns. And when you look at similar makers, you're not paying that much more. So it's a reasonably priced jacket. Let's compare it to other makers. I reviewed the Thursday Racer jacket in black. That's a jacket that's made out of essentially disposable materials that costs $350 new. You can buy a used Schott for the same price and it will last you decades. Or you can buy a new Schott and then sell it later if you don't like it and pay the same price yet again. I mean, if you keep the Schott, you're going to get your wears in over time and it will pay for itself, okay? But if you go for these cheaper jackets, you're not getting the style, you're not getting something that will last, and you're not getting something that has that icon status. So, like, why do that? In short, a year later, 120 wears later, the value is there, the style is there, and the comfort is there. This is an awesome jacket. And it's funny too, because whenever I first got it, I was really not sure about it. When I first got into leather jackets, you know, back in 2019 or 2018 or whatever, I always felt like this was never a style that I would wear. And yet here it is, which has become my most worn. I think it's a testament to kind of the awesomeness of the jacket and its versatility, like I mentioned. So if I had to give the jacket a score, I guess it would be a 10 out of 10. You know, there is one thing I would say that I've been recently looking at, the 613S. And it's not for the stars. I don't really care about that. I know some people think that the 1 star is super cool. I don't care about the stars so much, but there is a difference in the design that I think may make the 613S a little better for how many of my pants fit, which is they're a little bit lower rise on most of my pants. And as you can see, the way that this jacket has the oval shape and then a kind of higher front end, The 613S is cut slightly differently, and it goes a little bit lower on the front. I kind of discovered this looking at my 613 GG and then talking to some other folks about it. And yeah, the S being blunt cut, it has the same length on the back at the longest point, but then how this jacket, you can see that oval shape, how it essentially kind of rises up towards the front and then evens out. It doesn't do that. And so that means that the front being slightly longer does do a slightly better job of covering your belt without adding a lot of extra length. And the jacket is more or less the same length, except for maybe a ½ inch in the front. So this coming year, I think I am going to try for a 613S or maybe the SH, which is in horsehide. Very similar design. So maybe the 618 could be a 9 out of 10 after I've compared it to the 613S. Not sure. So do you have a 613S or SH? Do you have a Schott Perfecto? Which model do you have? I'd be curious about your take on it. And thanks for watching this 1 year later review on my Schott 618.